Ladies and gentlemen, welcome into the Fantasy Football Podcast by the Nat Bros. I've got to come up with a better name for that. There's got to be something better than that. The Nat
Yeah,
Bros do fantasy. That sounds
sounds like
awesome.
we're sleeping on the job over here.
Is that what that sounds like? To me, it sounds like if you sit there and say like Nat Bros do fantasy, it's like, what kind of fantasy are you guys doing? It's like, that could be awkward. Anyway, welcome into Andrew and I talking about our fantasy football league. This is mostly for us to talk about and just to also talk about fantasy, but also to talk crap to our league mates that we are hoping either are watching or listening to. But in all honesty, this is if they don't watch it, if they don't listen to it, then we'll just badmouth them or talk about good things that they do and just have ourselves a good old laugh. So just to kind of like run into it and just to get it started, we're going to start talking about our matchups this week and how good or bad we did. So we're gonna recap. So we're gonna recap the entire league. We'll get into some specifics if we need to about we can be specific about our own teams and whatnot. But we're going to recap the entire league of like who won, who lost this week, and then get into some finer details of like just specifically league wide, like what were some surprises, what were good things, bad things. First off, so from the get, Andrew beat me soundly. Maybe not soundly, by like 15 points. So it was 102.66 to 87.32.
Soundly.
Lamarville, you do what?
I said soundly.
Yeah, no, definitely not. In comparison to some of the other ones on this. So Lamarville Universe beat Scott's Tots, the champion from last year, 95.92 to 94.68. London Silly Nannies got in the win column with 85 or 95.68 against Better Than Scott, who had 84.92. Let's Ride beat Biggest Loser 98.1 to 92 even. Heartbeat soundly stomped Shroot Farms. Shroot Farms being the second team or the second place team from last year with 122.5 to 68.1. And the Leprechauns got in the win column with 103.52. Or I'm sorry, the Leprechauns beat the Water Boys 103.52 to 75.16. I don't know if I like the fractions like that specific those specific fractions. Like I'm like, that's
Dude,
like
just so I got a standard league and a half PPR and a full PPR, and going from PPR half to the standard just
sucks.
The full points, yes, just throws me off.
Yeah, the biggest blowout was definitely Heartbeat at 122.5 versus Shroot Farms at 68.1. So basically, Cody, I mean, you're not starting off very well. I think Cody last year was, I think he started, he was like 12-0, or like he started out like with a bang. So Cody, you better pick it up, buddy. So there was 54.4 points of difference between the two. The Barely Eked It Out award goes to Lamarville Universe. So Jacob's team beat Scott's Tots 95.92 to 94.68, which was just a 1.44 difference.
So stuff that I like to do is I like to go back and see if there was any chance of people ever winning. So like Shroot Farms, he lost by what was it, 60 some odd points?
Mm-hmm.
So, and on his bench he had 69 points.
No, he lost by 54. He lost by 54.
Right. So if he started Cream Hunt instead of Cam Akers, he'd have got 21 points. If he had started Tua, he'd have got 11 more points. So that's, what is that, 32. I'm trying to see if he'd actually won or not. Mike Williams, if he had started Julio
He
Jones.
Didn't start Mike Williams? Who did he start over Mike Williams?
If he had started Julio Jones, Mike Williams only got him 2 points.
Oh,
He got 8 more points there. So that's 40.
Actually, let's go in. Let's go into it. Let's talk about this. So
yeah, he still wouldn't have won either way.
No matter what. Kareem Hunt over Cam Akers. right?
100% whenever Steyer Cam Akers if I'd had Kareem Hunt on my team.
I don't know. I don't know if I would have done Kareem Hunt. Like I know in my other league, I didn't start Kareem Hunt, and it would have definitely helped me win. But like there were other options, and I think even Cam Akers to an extent was probably touted as the better option, like almost guaranteed to have been the better option.
Like for me, it was like I thought because last year, uh, Super Bowl champs, all that. That's the only reason I started Cam Akers over Cordero. I mean, he was at like a .2 point lead on that. I mean, it wasn't even that much. It was just more or less, they had a more explosive offense, and clearly that just wasn't the case.
Yeah,
Seems like Thursday was so long ago, but it really wasn't. But that's
yeah,
what's so
yeah.
funny. So yeah. So back into you were looking at Scott something.
Yeah. So I was looking at Scott Tots in the Marvel universe. So if somebody had gotten like 2 receptions for like I don't know 4 yards, it would have been fine. Like it would have been good, or 4.4 yards. All right, like that would have been fine.
So funny
But
story was
so
Scott came to me with a trade offer of he wanted to give me
Sky Moore,
no, he wanted to give me Swift and Cooks for
Taylor. Yeah, that's not happening.
Well, and I was like, well, give me Kelsey and Swift. Man,
Right.
could you imagine if he made that trade?
Ooh, I mean, those are the 2 highest ones. Yeah. Because,
He
but
would have got
then again, well, let's see. I mean, how much did Taylor get for you?
25.5.
I mean, that would have been exactly what, or that would have been close to what DeAndre Swift got for him. So I don't know. I mean,
That's true. I mean, I was more than willing to trade him, 2 of my running backs for his tight end and one of his running backs.
let's say this: the biggest reason I would say that Scott's Tots didn't win is just because like Tom Brady did not do much. Like he could have done so much better. Cortland Sutton did okay. Brandon Cooks did decently. DeAndre Swift was great. Eli Mitchell is something that hurt him, but also he does have Jeff Wilson, so he should be okay after this week. We will see.
I heard Cortland Sutton was supposed to be the number 1 wide receiver, but I would say last night he was definitely number 2.
Yeah, that's because I think he started out with like a bunch of running backs. The other thing too is like I got this ridiculous trade offer. Like he wanted to give me Sky Moore for. He's like, let me give you Sky Moore for Alan Lazard. I'm like, you're giving me a rookie for the number 1 in Green Bay with like a really great quarterback. Now, granted, Alan Lazard didn't get squat this week,
He
right?
missed on Dotson.
He also but he also wanted to trade me like Jahan Dotson and Sky Moore for Allen Robinson or Alan Lazard. I was like, not feeling it, buddy. Like that's just not interested. So with all of that, you did have the most points on the bench. We kind of talked a little bit about that. Is there anybody that you wish you had started over anybody else?
No, and not necessarily thinking about starting any differently than how I started this time, unless I can pick up a better tight end or a better quarterback.
I got you. Yeah, I would. Here's the thing. Again, I would keep the quarterbacks that you got. So you wouldn't start Duvernay over like Jacobs or anything like that.
I would start Cordero over Jacobs.
That's a good point. I would keep. Yeah, you with McKenzie and Burks. I think those are really good pickups. I think keeping an eye on those. Yeah, it doesn't seem like Robert Woods is going to be very good in Tennessee.
Let's just go with like this. So just so you know where I stand, my team roster definitely going to drop. Amari Cooper definitely going to drop. I think that's all I have really.
Yeah, I think that's all you got that you're going to drop. Yeah.
Unless
I got rid of like Alex Pierce from Indianapolis, and I also got rid of.
I saw you drop him like 2 days ago. Like, I was like,
Just like because they didn't give me anything. They didn't do anything on the field. They were both uh, healthy. So it's like I'm just like okay, because the thing is like to me, like I'm just gonna make that decision because like I know normally like for me, especially in the early weeks, I'm always like, but what if, but hold on, but and I'll tell you this, like if Allen Robinson comes back and he doesn't do squat, if he's got nothing because he gave me 1.7 points. Now, granted, it was against
well,
Buffalo, and
yeah,
Buffalo's a great defense,
horrible.
and Cooper Kupp is just phenomenal. So, being that he didn't really get that many looks, he was running a lot of routes. He didn't get that many targets. I'm not sure actually how many targets he got. I can look that up real quick. But like being that as it may, like he got 2 targets. That's it. Now,
Mhm.
next week against Atlanta, which should be a little bit easier, a little bit better. If he doesn't give me anything, he's gone. I'm done. I had him last year. I'm done with him this year if he's like that again. So I will say this: people who surprise me in a good way, and this is Saquon Barkley. Like I'm surprised. Actually, I would say the Tennessee Titans surprised me in a bad way, but Saquon Barkley got 30.4 points. I mean, that to me is just mind-boggling. Because I would have never imagined that Saquon Barkley would come back in such a way. But he had 18 rushing attempts for 164 yards and a touchdown. He had 6 receptions on 7 targets for 30 yards. I mean, the dude was awesome against the Titans. I just like that was a really cheap pickup for whoever got him, and if he continues doing what he's doing, it's going to be really good. They're going to do really good things for him. Carson Wentz also very surprising. Just I mean, like looking at how much he passed, like 27 for 41 for 313 yards. He got 4 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. I mean, really good. Like really or not. I shouldn't say really good, but surprising. Again, it was Jacksonville, so it's not really that surprising. And we'll see when they actually go up against a real defense. Because let's be honest, Jacksonville's not a real defense. So, and can we talk about how in the AFC South, no one has a single win? Not a single team has a win in the AFC South. Can we talk about that?
No, we cannot talk about that. There's no reason to talking about that.
I can't believe that.
And it was all about what 2 points on one point on the other. How much? Like they were all like small percentage points, or
Yeah.
small, nothing
Yeah, 'cause I
huge.
think-
Just like
Yeah.
they beat
Well,
themselves.
because the Houston Texans and the Indianapolis Colts tied at 20. Jacksonville Jaguars lost to the Washington
I mean, technically
Commanders.
they didn't lose.
22-20, and the Titans lost to the Giants 21-20. What is it with the 20s? It's like just 20s. Or no, it's 21-19, wasn't it?
No,
No, 21. It was 21-20.
20.
21-20.
Yeah,
Man, it's just bad stuff.
Gino, like that boy came out
Mm.
throwing rockets. I mean, I
Yep.
did not think he was going to be doing that good. I mean, he had 100% pass rating up until the third quarter.
Yeah. I mean, he was
Like he
was
just
definitely
wasn't missing. I mean, he wasn't throwing it to anybody but Will Disley. But Disley,
yeah. Well,
Disley, yeah.
yeah. Will Disley, yeah.
And like you said, Carson Wentz, like it's crazy. Like man, like he ain't played that good since they went to the Super Bowl.
But I think he's never been to the Super Bowl. That's the thing. But I
Yeah,
think he normally does really
Carson
well to
Wentz.
begin with, and then just like tapers off and just goes Carson Wentz on it. I don't know if
Carson
that'll
Wentz went to the
change,
Super Bowl.
huh?
Carson Wentz went to the Super Bowl.
No, he didn't. He never played
Yes,
in the
he
Super
did.
Bowl. Never played.
He didn't play, but he got his team there until he got injured.
He did not get his team there. He got injured like partway through, like closer to the end of the season.
12. After 12, I think is what
After
it was.
12, and then Nick Foles took him all the way through it. So if anybody got their team to the Super Bowl, it was Nick Foles. So anyway, who surprised you in a bad way?
So, first and foremost, just on my team, Trey Lance.
Yeah.
Njoku, I mean, he was supposed to be the number one target if you listen to anything. That's about it as far as those two go. I'd expect more out of Traylon Burks, honestly. I mean, it wasn't horrible compared to what he was projected at, but even still, I mean, if he's supposed to be number one, who were they throwing the ball to?
Phillips,
Hibbett.
another rookie.
No, it was didn't the running back get most of the backup running back got all
Okay, so Dontrell, that was another surprising one. Is Dontrell
yeah.
Hilliard, the running back for Tennessee? He got both touchdowns. He
Yeah.
got both touchdowns, and it was just like, what is happening? Like, what is this? Now, another thing is like Derek. Here's what I think. Here's what I think is gonna happen. Like, I don't think the Titans, and I don't think a lot of teams. I think the reason why people like freak out this first week is because I don't think a lot of teams actually had their starters playing in the preseason. So like the first game is their first game, and it's like, oh right, now I remember how to play this game. And because like even with the Titans, I didn't see a single time where Ryan Tannehill was out there throwing it to Treylon Burks or throwing it to Phillips, but apparently this Kyle Phillips guy seems to be like a really good player. But also, like Derrick Henry wasn't out there very much, if at all, during the preseason. And so I'm like, this first game is almost like a preseason game, and then we'll see what happens afterwards. That's what I'm chalking it up to. Hopefully, that's why, especially just as Titans fans, I'm like, that's what I'm really hoping. Um, for me on my team, Devonta Smith just having nothing, a goose egg. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like that sucks big time. Especially being that AJ Brown had 10 receptions for 155 yards. I'm like, and Devonta Smith didn't get squat. Like he got targeted 4 times, but he didn't do anything with it. That's the thing is, I'm just like, what is happening? I'll hold on a little bit longer, see if that pans out. Because here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking defenses will sit there and be like, okay, we still need to get AJ Brown. AJ Brown is like ridiculously good. Let's stop him, and so it opens it up for Devonta Smith as well. You know, I'm hoping that happens next week. We will see what happens. Aaron Rodgers was also a surprise again at Minnesota. Talking about Minnesota, he only got 3.7 points, but this is kind of like par for the course for Rodgers. Comes out, sucks the first week, and then just rockets off after that. And so maybe if he stops doing those psychedelic drugs, we'll be all right.
I was on a podcast listening to us talking about how
Yeah.
His first throw to that rookie.
Oh yeah, Christian Watson or Christian Watkins.
It's like,
Is that what it is?
Can't trust a rookie. First throw to a rookie, drops the ball.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, but like I think if you get Alan Lazard out there, if Alan Lazard gets out there, I think Green Bay will be fine. And I'm really hoping that that's what happens because of course having Alan Lazard in this league. Anyway, so waiver wire looks. Who are you looking at? Are you looking at anybody specific for your waiver wires?
Yeah, definitely one of the topper.
One of the topper? Is that what you just said? One of the toppers?
One of the top 2 or 3 tight ends, if it's Everett or Disley. If I can get another tight end, and then I might pick up Hillard if I can get him, but I think that was a fluke too, just to hold on to him because, he's going to just blow everything out of the water if anything ever happens to Tennessee's backup.
Maybe look at Robert Tonyan as well.
I don't think San Francisco's backup it's going to be worth it. I don't think Najee Harris is going to be out long enough really to need another running back. You know what I mean?
I would say take a look for Tonyan for your tight end. Tonyan will probably be pretty good, especially if Lazard misses any more time. So like Gerald Everett from the Chargers, Robert Tonyan I think is what was being talked about, and maybe even like Hayden Hurst for Cincinnati. For me, guys that I'm targeting in the waiver wire, I'm looking at Curtis Samuel because he had 11 targets.
Is that this league, or are you saying just in all your leagues? Because
No. Well, in both leagues.
Specific league, I was looking at tight end and maybe another running back. Maybe, if I can trade a tight end evenly for Njoku, and if I can drop Amari and get either the top, wide receiver, running back, maybe even pick up Carson Wentz for a trade off option. I don't know. Yeah, I'll get him because I'm like number 9 in the waiver wire, something stupid.
So
Um,
for me, like
but
I'm pretty
yeah,
solid at running back and wide receiver for the most part. Um, but not super solid at wide receiver just because
I,
like
I would say your 0-1 record would say otherwise, but just
no. But I mean the thing is like I mean Christian McCaffrey, like if Alan Lazard comes back, Gabe Davis looks great. Jalen Hurts, my quarterback, is great. I've got Mark Andrews, so I don't really need to worry about tight end for I don't know ever. Um,
you said
Javonte
running.
Williams,
You said running back and wide receiver. You said you were good at running back. That's all you said.
I'm good at running back. I do need some better support at wide receiver, just in case Allen Robinson and Devonta Smith decide to on on my fantasy league again. Um, and so with that, I'm looking at both Curtis Samuel and Donovan Peoples Jones. Um, Donovan Peoples Jones had 11 targets. Same with Curtis Samuel; they had 11 targets, and Curtis Samuel also has some rushing ability. He had 4 rushes. For running backs, I am taking a look at Rex Burkhead, just because even though he's not great, and even though Damian Pierce is there, if Lovey Smith, the coach there in Houston, if he's like, I'm going to give it to the old vet, then like the numbers will just be fine. Like it'll be even though it's like garbage. Like I think he was getting like 2 yards per rush, but I'm like, who cares? Also, he had 8 targets for 5 receptions. I'm sorry, 5 receptions for 8 targets.
So players to look at was who else was targeted high? People that you didn't mention. You of course mentioned Samuel, but Dortch for Arizona, Peoples Jones for Cleveland, Corey Davis for the Jets, Zay Jones, Zach Moss. Zach Moss was targeted 6 times and rushed 6 times, even though he's not top dog. I mean, that's still what 6, 8, 10, something 9 or 10 points. That's still deeper leagues needing it. Kyle Phillips,
Mm-hmm.
like you said. Yeah, maybe let's ride. We'll take Kyle Phillips. He been trying to get Traylon Burks off of me for the last 2 weeks.
And I am definitely putting this out there, and we'll see if anybody ends up watching this. But a couple guys that I want to trade for, or try and get. I do want to try and get Jeff Wilson Jr. if I can get him off of Scott's hands. I want to see if I can get Damian Pierce, the rookie running back for Houston. I do want to see if I could get him because he only had 4.4 points, but he had 11 attempts and he had a target. And so to me, I was like, that's plenty. Like I think that's actually I guess it's not because it doesn't need to be 13 or more attempts. He's only got 12, but I would imagine that he will get more. I am targeting Alvin Kamara. He only got 6 points, but he had 9 attempts and 4 targets, so that's the 13 plus threshold, and plus it is Alvin Kamara. Might try and take a stab at Zeke, maybe, but I'm less likely to go after him. Melvin Gordon, I'm also going to try and take a look. No, wait. Melvin Gordon would be a good one to look for. I'm not interested in him because I've got Javonte Williams. And so I'm not interested, but if you wanted to do some trading, like Melvin Gordon with only 6.2 points, like it is going to be a double headed thing. Also, I'm looking at David Montgomery because I'm hoping somebody is like I'm really going after Alvin Kamara and David Montgomery because I know that those guys will perform better. David Montgomery just because he was in the water, but he had 17 attempts and 4 targets. Yeah, I'm gonna go after him. I'm also going to try and get Kadarius Toney because I know that Kadarius Toney is like really good as a wide
Over,
receiver.
you would try and get him over like Sterling Shepard right now?
Yes.
Really?
Yep. Well, because here's the thing, I don't Sterling Shepard I think scored quite a bit of points. Kadarius Toney only got 2 points, so I'm aiming at guys. When I'm looking to trade, I'm looking at guys who basically had 7 points or less, but had a good target, like good amount of attempts or a good amount of touches or attempts to touch. So like now, Kadarius Toney only touched the ball twice, but he's supposed to have a bigger role. He's really supposed to, because like Kenny Galladay is not great, and even Sterling Shepard, like the guy to get is Kadarius Toney, but I'm gonna see if I can like weasel him away. I own him in another league, and I plan on keeping him. I'm also gonna look at CD Lamb because I think CD Lamb might actually be a decent pickup for cheap, just because Dak has gone for at least 8 weeks, maybe 4 weeks, 4 to 8 weeks. But Rush may still be able to help him out. And he only had 3.9 points this week. DK Metcalf. Now, the other thing about this is like I do have to be mindful of the fact that it's going to be very difficult for our guys. Like, there's no way that they're going to want to get rid of like a CD Lamb, an Alvin Kamara, a David Montgomery, an Ezekiel Elliott, or a DK Metcalf without something else, like potentially. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try and go after these guys and see if I can get them for pretty cheap. Anybody you're looking at?
I don't see many people trading an even enough trade. Everybody's always trying to get one up on you. I mean,
Yeah.
I was looking at who was my team that I was worried about. Oh gosh. I mean, I might, if I can't get a good enough tight end, I might look at trading into a trade in from. I don't know if it's Scott's Tots or somebody has two tight ends and they're a lot more targets, but I think I get one either off a waiver or free agency to really get out there. I don't think I really need. I mean, my biggest thing right now is picking the right guys to play. You know.
I'm also so I'm trying to trade for Michael Pittman Jr. and Isaiah Pacheco. See if I could get them for Lazard and Devonta Smith. I'm trying to see if I could just.
Oh,
I don't think
we
I'm gonna
got
get
those
that,
too.
but man, I would love to get me some Michael Pittman Jr.
Let's see. What else are we gonna talk about today? Yeah. So honestly, other leagues I was looking at. Definitely have to redo my standard league. Just briefly touched on that. No PPR, and I just like I was supposed to get 95 and got like 75
Mm-hmm.
points, and my opponent got like 120. And you're saying you don't like the point system where it's like the fraction or the decimal point, but this one's like standard points where it's like there's no point anything, and it's like, man, this sucks. Like, you don't get point 0.3 points for 3 yards.
Yeah.
You just either get one or nothing. I did want to talk to you about. You should try the best ball. Have you seen that yet?
I know of best ball. I haven't done best ball just
So
because.
I tried it out last night strictly on just the Denver Seattle game, and I
Mhm.
didn't win because for some reason I put DK
Are you talking
Metcalf.
best ball or are you talking daily fantasy?
Well, I clicked on best ball, and that's how I got to this daily fantasy. I guess I don't.
Oh, okay,
It's
yeah,
on my
because
app.
best ball and daily are two different things.
Is it though?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So daily.
Best ball, you have to pick it for the next day that they play. Daily fantasy, you can play every day, right?
No, no, no. So daily fantasy is you pick it for the day that they're going to play. So like if I were to do daily fantasy, you could either play it for the week, like you put in you play against these guys, and you're like, okay, these are the games that are going on this week. I'm going to choose this guy. You have to pay. There's a certain amount that you have to pay. So like let's say your quarterback, like if you want to, you have a certain limit of like salary that you can give out. And so, like, let's say you get a really good quarterback. Let's say you get a Josh Allen. You're like, oh, I'm going to get Josh Allen. And he's like $16,000. Well, then maybe you only start with like 45,000. That's a good chunk of your money, right? And so if he's like 16,000, and then you got to figure out what wide receivers you could get in. Like if you want like a really good wide receiver, you may get one really good wide receiver, a really good running back. But then that means you're paying up for those, and then your next wide receiver, your flex, your defense, your kicker, your tight end, they're going to be much cheaper. So that's daily fantasy. Best ball Best ball is where you draft your guys. You draft, and that's all you do is you just draft. And then throughout the entire season, whoever does the best that week will automatically be put into your lineup. Like you don't have to do anything; you just draft. That's all. That's what best ball is nice. It's the nice thing about best ball is you draft. So it's like you got to draft. There's
Yeah, so
certain
maybe it was Daily Fantasy last night.
yeah,
That
yeah,
did do
yeah.
that. I didn't do horrible, but I didn't put no money down. But it's like looking at this, it's like, you know, I might look into like putting it down $1 to play a game and see how good I do.
Mm-hmm.
So something I wanted to look at was draft grades. Of course, it grades
Mm-hmm.
your draft, right? So
Right.
top draft grade was for Shroot Farms, who had the lowest points on the entire board.
Mm-hmm.
Scott Tots was next. He lost by 1 point.
Heartbeat though,
Yeah.
Heartbeat is like destroying people only because on the backs of who did he have? He had Patrick Mahomes and Jamar or Justin Jefferson. Those are the two top scorers in our league. Period. And like he had them, both of them. They were tied for the same amount. It's like like
My
I don't
other little
imagine it'll be the same thing because again Arizona's defense like the secondary just is garbage, and so getting 5 touchdowns, yeah, wow, that's great. The first one, like it's not going to happen again. Like I almost guarantee like that was just kind of like a fluke accident. Like it was just so open for them. When you actually get up against the defense that actually can stop your top receiver in Kelsey and can make it terrible for other things. I don't think they'll be that high again. Great start for Heartbeat. Great start. Wonderful start. But yeah, I don't think. Oh no, maybe he had Josh Allen. No, I think he did have Patrick Mahomes. I
well,
forget.
whoever he had.
Yeah.
So I play Shoot Farms next, and of course it shows him winning. You know,
Does it?
yeah, it is what it is. Let's see. I wouldn't say you did the worst, bro. Even though you had the worst scorecard, and I wouldn't say I did the medium. I probably did the medium range. I got third place now, so it's right there in the middle. Let's see what else.
Oh, somebody was trying to trade me in my other league. Somebody was trying to trade me Juju Smith-Schuster for AJ Dillon. I'm like, not happening. I don't know what you're smoking. Like, there's no way that's happening.
What? Why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, I was looking. I was like, this boy, he really wants what's his face, but like it's like, man, I mean, come on. I might do Traylon Burks back for Tyler Boyd. Now that he's actually gonna be top 2 or top 3,
Yeah.
top 2, I guess now.
Yeah, he'll be Jamar Chase and then Tyler Boyd and Joe
I'm
Mixon.
gonna try. I'm gonna try and wait it up for this waiver wire to go through. Like go through already.
Well, I don't think it goes through that quickly.
What do you mean? It goes through before we wake up in the morning.
Yeah, but I think it's like at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, for sure.
You gonna stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning your time?
No, I was just hoping like maybe there'd be like a fluke. You know what? Text me. Give me a call whenever it goes through, so that way I can wake up and pick up the next best person if I miss it.
I think the only reason why Scott, I'm probably the only person who like immediately after it goes through, I can actually go in and like grab people, just because I'm awake when it goes through, and I'm like, hey, who knew? What?
I feel like
I'm actually
honest-
I'm
I
actually
feel like
interested in who gets dropped. It's just me stopping back in to say thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you're not subscribed, please subscribe. Whether you're listening on your podcasting app or you're watching on YouTube. If you're listening on the podcasting app, make sure you leave us a 5-star review. If you are watching on YouTube, click the bell, click the like button. Let us know what you think about our analysis for the first week. Let us know if you agree. And if you happen to be one of our league mates, we'll be whooping your butts here soon. Bye-bye.